Well, maybe I could. I'll see. Hopefully, this. We do have some snacks and refreshments out in the lobby. I know our football players are going to wait patiently until all of our guests have opportunities to get snacks, right? So you'll survive without a cookie for a couple days. Thank you. And we'll get started about 4:45, so you got some time to meet and greet. Players, I would encourage you to get to know someone else other than someone on the football team, so get up. There will be a quiz later on who you've met and who you've introduced yourself to. I'm doing very good, Joe, man. Okay, okay.
The weather, the snow was coming. I just want you to know that I love football. I can connect myself to it.
Yeah, let me, we got a, I wasn't sure.
No, you don't want it. I don't think. You know what? I'm trying to set it to my best. Well, I got my time. Yeah. Anyways, I just want to congratulate you. I want to thank you.
Seth, what's up, man? You got to be itching to get back, aren't you?
Yes. It does have that feel.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Well, that was better. You guys got so quiet, I felt like I was in church. It got really formal in here, and I got really nervous, and so great response. And so I want to welcome you all and thank you all for joining us to welcome Coach Maiuri and his family to the University of Dubuque. And so we're blessed to have you all here, as well as him and his family. I want to say a couple of thanks here so I don't forget here. And so we want to thank University Relations for all their work to make this event happen, our sports information office and all their assistants. Phenomenal job by catering, so there is a lot of food, so guys, you can have at it after this is over, and so there should be no leftovers when it's all said and done. I want to thank our football staff for all the help and assistance in making this event happen and throughout the process of the search and screen, our athletic training staff, our search and screen committee. It was a very interesting search. We had almost 70 candidates for this position, and so we were very blessed. It was a very popular, a very attractive position here nationwide, and so thank you for all your work there. Thanks for our players for your involvement throughout that process and for joining us today as well. I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank Stan and Diane Sweefel for 15 years of commitment to this program and to this university to build the foundation that we have to build upon, to go after our conference and go after national competition as well. Also want to thank President Bullock for all of his assistance and work in this process as well. We have representatives, our American Rivers Conference, so I want to thank them for joining us. Our Commissioner, Marie Stroman, who was due to have a baby at any day, came down in the middle of a blizzard to be here for this event. So thank you very much on that. I've gotten smarter over the years that whenever your wife is in the audience, you should just say, "Thanks, honey, so I'm glad you're here." I say that more because when the president announced that he was retiring, I saw him tear up a little bit when he brought data into his speech. I'm like, I got to start practicing because I will totally lose it as well. So I'm a quick learner, if nothing else. So that being said, I want to bring up President Bullock to welcome you all as well.
Thank you, Nelson. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. It's a special moment for all of us. So, moments like these are really important moments in the life of any university, but particularly in places like the University of Dubuque. As we introduce a new coach today, it's important for me to underscore for all of us how important intercollegiate athletics is for the mission of this university. Of course, all of our athletic programs are essential in the university's recruiting process. But even more importantly, the best coaches understand that each athletic program is a formative tool for developing future leaders, co-workers, parents, and citizens. It's easy to lose sight of that fact. First and foremost, we are about the intellectual, spiritual, and character formation of students, including student athletes. So Nelson, I want to personally thank you and your search advisory committee for helping keep that focus throughout this entire search process. Yes, we want to win, and we do, and we will win. Men's basketball is undefeated. But we also want to use, in our case today, football to form young men. Thank you for maintaining that tone throughout the athletic department. Finally, I wish to welcome Coach Maiuri, his wife, Bridget, and their family to our family known as the University of Dubuque. Ryan, long ago, by my calculations, when you were still in middle school, actually, the University of Dubuque was at a much different place than it is today. In fact, there was a moment in time when members of our athletic conference wanted us out of the conference. It was a hard time, but upon reflection, it was also a time for which we can now be thankful. We can be thankful because that moment in time provided an opportunity for our board, our faculty, our staff, our alums, and our community to begin writing another story. Not a story of struggle or disenfranchisement, but a story of hope and opportunity. The University of Dubuque family coalesced around a new mission in those years that is the heart and center of who we are today. Without that very difficult time, many of us gathered in this room or online today would not have had the opportunity to play our role in creating what exists today. Ryan, you're taking over a strong program that until Coach Swiefel's arrival had experienced very little success for a number of decades. With his leadership and all of those who coached with him, a highly competitive program was built, and we're thankful and grateful for that contribution. And now it's your opportunity, and the opportunity of your colleague coaches, to continue to build on that success, to innovate, grow, and to flourish. You will have the support to do that here in this place known as the University of Dubuque. Ryan, I know that you and your family will be warmly welcomed here by this university community. You will find here among these people a loyal, enthusiastic, and caring cadre of friends, colleagues, and supporters who will go out of their way to welcome and support you. We're happy that you're here with us, and we look forward to many years of shared experience and success. And now, as I end these remarks, and because I want to make a good impression on Bridget, I will refrain from identifying the schools that I really look forward to you and your team beating. Welcome, and thank you.
We are also honored this afternoon to have the chair of our Board of Trustees, Joe Clappity, here to join us, and I'd ask Joe to come up and say a few words as well. You're not going to get off that easy, Joe.
This is like that speech class, you know.
An impromptu.
You know, this is an exciting day for the university. And Jeff, you hit it right on the head. Ryan, I joined the board here in 1992. I graduated from Dubuque in 1968. But that period from, during the 80s and 90s was very difficult for the University of Dubuque. And Jeff and I met for the first time at a board meeting in 1996, if you can believe that. Jeff had just been named dean of the seminary, and somehow, Jeff, we sat in that next to each other in that one spot. I can still remember that today. And then 2 years later, through divine providence and some pretty intuitive thinking on the part of Bruce Merriweather, at the age of 38, Jeff became president of the University of Dubuque. It was a very difficult time. I could tell a lot of stories. I've told him so many times, Jeff doesn't want to hear them again. But things were very difficult. And I can remember Jeff talked about the conference wanting to get rid of us. And I give Jeff a lot of credit. At the age of 38, you know, he just stood there and said, no, literally. And we stuck in there, and they had three candidates at that time they wanted out. They wanted William Penn, Dubuque, or Upper Iowa. And they said 2 out of the 3 are going to be gone. And we were the only one that stuck around. But those were very difficult times. When I say difficult, we would have meetings of the board, and I chaired the finance committee at that time, and we'd have an executive committee meeting, and we had God bless her, Tracy Wagner was our chief financial officer, and I knew it was going to be a tough meeting when Tracy would come in crying. You know, I knew it was going to be tough. But that turnaround in 1998 and the perseverance that we had, and I'll call it divine providence, and some very good, influential people who said, you know, we're going to help you. You know, we know it's a challenge. And from that point on, starting in 2000 with Charlie Meyer, it's been an upward road. And it was so difficult being a part of the athletic program at that time, because things, not just in football, but in general, were in very difficult shape. We are in great shape today as a school, And I don't say that with envy or with bluster. It's because of hard work, planning, and sticking to our knitting that this has happened. But we now firmly believe that we're in a position to take the university to a new level in all areas, academically and athletically. And we felt the need that we're going to go and have the best coaching staff that we can have to accomplish that. We feel humbled and honored that we were able to attract you. Really, when I read the bio, I said, he wouldn't have brought me here to play football. But we're looking forward to it. And I'm convinced that the coaching staff and the players will find this to be a refreshing new challenge as we move forward. So good luck to you. It was nice meeting your family, and I look forward to spring practice.
Thanks, Joe. Now I get the opportunity to introduce our new head football coach, Ryan Maiuri. Before that, I want to make a few comments about him. I got to clarify one thing. And we played against Ryan in 2004 when I was at the University of Wisconsin Whitewater, and it was 28-28 going into the fourth quarter. I wasn't coaching that year, so I just want to preface that statement. And I think they were like 17 for 18 on fourth down conversions, and so imagine that. And so we were just going crazy in the stands that the game was so close. And a big part of why it was so close was how well Ryan was playing, his leadership to that team and program. I think he shared a story that he went to the head coach and said, "Don't you take me off the field for the rest of the game." And they did that, and they almost knocked us off that year. And so I knew then that he was a competitor, that he had a great fire, great spirit, had an opportunity to cross paths over the years. There were in camps and other people that we worked with. We had a great pool, and he really rose to the top to be the number one candidate and the best leader to lead our program forward. He's done a lot of things at Central College, a lot of accolades, and I'm not going to share all those things and embarrass him. He loves public speaking about as much as I do, and so we want to get him up here and end the suffering. So, Coach, come on up.
Yeah, I don't think I used such kind words with our head coach on the sidelines quite like that. There were some other explicitives in there that, we won't say here. But I just want to start out by thanking everyone for being here today. This is a great opportunity for my family and for myself, and I can't thank you enough for the support that we've received. I'd like to also thank President Bullock. When I came here for my interview, I think anytime that you go through an interview process, you're trying to just see what's best for your family and for your opportunities. And our conversation, I think, was scheduled for an hour, and we ended up being together for nearly 2 hours. And that really is what helped me make this final decision to come here and be a part of this university. And we talked a lot about you have to feel called to opportunities in your life, and I feel called to this opportunity here at the University of Dubuque. It's a lot deeper than just wins and losses. It's about growing young men and mentoring young men, and our conversation was that sealed the deal for me, honestly. I also like to thank Nelson for all his efforts. He is very patient with me through this process. I'm kind of, if you ask my wife, Bridget, I'm going to thank her in a second, but I don't do purchases very fast. Everything I do is research, and there's a lot of research that goes into things that I do. And to make a move like this for my family and for myself, there was a lot of research and questions and digging, and he was very patient with that. So I'm really thankful that you stuck with me through the process as we were going through those things. I'd also like to thank my family. As a head football coach now, when you go through and make decisions like this to leave a program, to go somewhere else, that's a big deal. You're not just moving yourself when you have a wife and kids, and everyone's got to be on board. And Bridget has always been incredibly supportive to me and really challenging me. Sometimes you get in your comfort zone and you'll just stay there. That's human nature, and she's really pushed me and challenged me to step out and try to reach another level in my career too. So you guys should be thanking her for another reason why I'm here. All right. And obviously my little ones, actually there's another one around here somewhere. I don't know where she's at, so if you hear fire, she's out there? Okay, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, you might hear a fire alarm go off here any second. So, but I'm just really appreciative to them and for this opportunity. And I'd also like to thank, it'd be wrong for me not to thank Central College. That college there is a great place. The people there are amazing. Jeff McMartin has been a great mentor to me, probably the greatest mentor in my coaching career. So I'd like to thank them as well. I firmly believe that God perfectly placed that opportunity right before this one. All right, I had an opportunity to talk to the guys last night. I wanted to introduce myself to them before I came here for a press conference. And talk to them about the idea of having discipline, accountability, and toughness. And those were things that I was able to see firsthand in my last stop, all right? And these are things that I want to bring to this program, help these young men to develop themselves, not just on the football field, but to further themselves in life. And that's what I'm here to do. I want to grow great men, mentor them, and help develop them so they can be great husbands, fathers, whatever career field they go in, co-workers. And that's really why I got into coaching. Going back to the calling part, when I was at Lakeland College, now Lakeland University up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, at that point, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I went to college thinking I was going to be a police officer or a firefighter. I come from suburban Detroit. The only jobs you can get there as a police officer is to work in Detroit, and I wasn't really wanting to do that at the time. And so, I decided that maybe I'll go into education as a backup plan just in case I don't get back to that. And we went through a coaching change when I was at Lakeland, and I talked to the guys about this last night, there's change every single day. We went through COVID. That was a wild time. We had to make some changes, adaptations. Just driving from here to Pella, that drive, the route is the same, but it changes every day. The traffic is different. There's changes all around us, and learning to adapt. And we went through a coaching change when I was at Lakeland. And a lot of us thought we wanted one thing, and the guy that got me into coaching, Jim Zabrowski, who's now co-offense coordinator at KU, his mentorship, guidance as a coach, really is what got me to decide, I want to be like that guy. I want to be like him. All right, I don't have quite the energy that guy does, but the care, the love, what I'm going to bring to you guys, this is nuts. This is every day, so it is. I'm trying to do my best just to ignore it, but this is every day. This is what we do. So, but just very thankful for this opportunity. Couldn't be more excited to be at this place. To see what's happened over the last 2.5 decades, the transformation that's taken place under President Bullock's guidance. I'm just thankful to be a part of this and to see our program is in an incredible spot right now and just take it up a notch. All right, and the cupboard's full, man. That's the exciting thing. There's a lot of great guys in here right now that are ready to play football, and I bet if we could, they'd line up tomorrow and go get after it, and I would too. All right, so I'm excited for this opportunity. It's an amazing place, and I'm thankful to be a part of this, and I'm thankful for you all for being here. I'll also say this, I'd say by nature I'm introverted. So when I left that office over there, that scoreboard, that beautiful scoreboard, was lit up. It was super bright. I'm like, it's kind of dark out here. I walked out. Oh, dang, that's a big light back. So I looked back. I was like, oh, dang, they got the scoreboard up. And I was like, oh, dang, that's me. Oh, my gosh, why'd they do that to me? But I think it speaks to the support around here. There's great support in this program and our athletics programs, and I'm just excited to be a part of this opportunity. And I don't like the focal point on me. The focal point's always going to be on the team. All right, this is their team. It's your team. All right, this isn't about Ryan Maiuri. I'm just the one that's going to help guide things. If things go bad, I'll take the blame for it. If things go good, it goes to the guys. All right, and that's how our program will be going forward. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all, and I can't wait to get to work.
We're going to open it up here for questions, just a couple of things. Ryan and I will need these later to get off all the stress of the public speaking, but we do have some token stress balls there, football, so please make sure you're taking one of those. Marie, you may want to take 2 of those so you can hold them there during childbirth, right? One in each hand to help get you through it. Take as many as you need, right? So just don't go into labor tonight. All right, so we're going to open up the floor for questions for Coach.
Coach, just wondering, football-wise, what made this such an attractive position for you to take this as a head coaching job?
So I've been in this league. Do I need this, or can I speak loud enough to do it? Yeah. So I've been fortunate to be in this league, which I think is one of the top leagues in the nation. You know, I don't know if we get the credit that we deserve, but I believe that we have one of the top conferences in the nation. And this program's always had a great football team, and just from the football side of things. So, you know, any week we were going into this game when I was at Central, it was like, dang, you better be ready to go. Like, this isn't just some team that you're going to slap around every time you walk out on the field. So the opportunity to be a part of this institution and lead the football program just from the football side of things excited me. The bigger piece, though, is what I feel like I can bring to these guys off the field, away from the football field, and creating guidance in their lives, just like I saw for myself when I was at Lakeland. That was the bigger draw for me.
Give us a little bit of your football philosophy, a little bit about what Spartans might look like as far as offense, defense, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd like to keep things close to the vest a little bit, but no, I'll tell you. Offensively, we're gonna run what I'm used to running. So, like, we're gonna be up tempo, no huddle. We're gonna bring that style of football here. We're gonna train to that. That's one of the things we can control. You know, in recruiting, you can't always control the size that you're gonna get, but you can always control the shape that you're gonna be in. And Coach Cole will be the one leading that front, preparing our guys to be ready for games. And so with that controllable there, we can add the tempo in, and our guys will be prepared for that. You know, and I didn't bring this up in our meeting last night, but that was the biggest difference when we talk about 90-plus degree heat on September 30th. Guys being prepared for that moment, because that's what they do, versus guys that this was a game that they weren't, like, from that standpoint, they're not used to that. And so that strategy side of it, that's going to be in our favor now. So defensively, at the end of the day, it's bend, don't break, be physical, fly to the football, all hats to the ball, be tough. You know, that tough is going to ring through our whole program. We want guys that are disciplined, accountable, and tough. And if we leave, I told the guys that last night, if we leave the football field and the coach comes over to me like, dang, you got a tough football team, relentless football team, I'm going to be feeling pretty good about things. So. You got the only questions.
What are your favorite colors?
Hey, so this is a funny story. I don't know if I told you guys this last night. So Charlie, the little one that had to tell me that Penelope's out there tearing the place down. She's been going to school. She's in kindergarten, and all she's known is wearing red. So she's been going into school every day telling the teacher, like, yeah, my daddy switched to the blue team now. So he's wearing blue now, so we cheer for the blue team. So, yeah, we got the blue. We're ready now.
You guys had that blue jacket?
Yeah, I actually have had this. I didn't have to go buy this. So we did.
Ryan, what was your take on the playoffs? You know, we had a team from our conference last year that lost in the semis, and they did again this year. And when you looked at, you can't get so bogged down in statistics, but they came very close to beating Central, and Central, I don't know what you think about the last play that coach called, you know.
Yeah.
So it looks like that as a conference, we're developing the capability to play at the highest level. Would you comment on that?
You know, I think the margin for victory and loss is very thin.
Yes.
Especially if you have a good football program and doing the little things, and that's going to be the thing that separates us. And I think that says a lot about our league and how strong it is. You know, Wartburg was able to go to semis last 2 years, and in both years in the semis, probably should have, would have, could have won down to the last drive of the game. And we were up 10-0 in that game this year, were we not?
Yes.
So we're not very far off, right? And there's little details that go into that can help us get over that hump, and then also bringing in guys that are skilled enough to win football games. But, you know, I feel like we got guys that are already prepared to do that, and we just got to bring some more guys that can kind of help us down the road in the future. So, you know, I don't get into like people's play calls. When you get in those moments and decisions and stuff, like it's easy on the outside to be like, oh, they should have did this or should have did that. Like, who knows what they decided beforehand and whatnot. But, you know, I can say this, like the margin of error is very small when you're playing good football teams. And that's why discipline and accountability are huge to success in those games especially.
One last question.
Yeah.
Should the Bears keep Fields?
I was just talking to Jesse Darkwa about that earlier today. So I think they should, honestly.
I'm with you. I think they should.
I mean, I think it's a little premature to just bail and then go to another guy, and then you're going to kind of just repeat the cycle, I feel like.
I think he's made a lot of progress. I mean, the scuttlebutt around Columbus is a lot of the Bear fans want the Bears to draft Henderson out of Ohio State.
Harrison, yeah.
Harrison.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison, yeah, Jr., which would be smart.
Yeah.
And I'm a Lions fan, though.
Ah,
So, yeah. The Bears we're on the same exact trajectory as the Lions have been the last couple of years. So, you know, if they knock the Packers off, it's almost exact same the last 2 years. So I think they're trending in the right direction. We'll say. Hopeful.
Can you talk us through your recruiting strategy?
Yeah, so I do a yearly calendar, and this might take a little while. I actually met with Bob this morning for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so. It was a great meeting, and you know, we do a yearly calendar, starts in spring for recruiting the 2025 class, try to get junior visits. We want to see people on campus. You know, it's my belief that the best chance you have to get a recruit to come to school here is to have them come to campus and see things for themselves. And if the more you get them on campus, the more likely it is they're going to choose to stay here. All right, so starting in junior year, in the spring, stick with them through the summer, work camps, keep those connections, but grow new connections, set up game days for the fall, have those guys come back. So now they've come in for a junior day, they come for a game day, see what the atmosphere is like, watch the show that we put on for them, and then when we get out of season, and we're still following up with them throughout the season, each week, writing them letters, handwritten, the power of the pen, man, like writing handwritten notes to guys so they see that, the parents see it. You know, parents don't see text. Like these guys, they don't show their parents what they're doing on their phone. So, you know, you got to send them handwritten letters and notes and other mailings to get in front of them so the parents see it too. And then once we hit to about December time after we play and make our run in the playoffs and stuff, you know, we'll start having guys come back to campus for official visits, December, January time, and hopefully sealing the deal at that point and then start it back over. So, you know, I know the big thing right now is like transfer portal and stuff. I'll just answer that now in case anyone's wondering, but like to me, I don't want to live in the transfer portal. I want to use it, leverage it for needs. So like if we're deficient in an area or have some type of injuries or something like that, like to satisfy that area. But I really believe in development. That's what I believe in. That's why I love Division III athletics is I feel like it's a developmental level. And that's what I like to do. I want to teach and I want to grow. And it's hard to do that for a semester. I want to do that from year one to watch a guy in year 4 and you see that growth. And so that's a big thing to me, big deal to me. So not that we won't utilize that or accept transfers, like we will, but I want the core of our team to be guys that we're working with for 4 years.
Got time for maybe one more question?
Coach, are you a fan of the Spartan mascot?
Oh, Sparty? Yeah. Oh, I love Spartans. So I told the guys that last night. I feel like the Spartan mascot is like, I don't think there's a better mascot in the world, honestly. Like, it's an elite warrior. How can you not love a Spartan? So, you know, that's going to be part of our mission going forward too is, you know, the armor, when you think of the armor of a Spartan is the most important piece is the shield. All right, so we made kind of an acronym, like each one of those letters is going to mean something, and I don't need to bore you guys with all of that, but we're going to hang our hats on that stuff because these are, each one of those things like being selfless, hungry, humble, having integrity, having great effort, energy, loyalty and determination, those things will bleed into every part of their life. And that's what we want to grow complete men. So when they leave here, they're ready to take on life. And so, and the shield is the most important piece of the armor for a Spartan because it protects the team. And they have to understand that each one of them in their own right is a shield. They got to protect the team. Every decision that they make affects the team, whether good or bad. So they got to understand that they are the shield. So, yeah, I love Spartans.
For the record, Coach Crable's just salty because he wanted to be Sparty today, so that's why he asked that question.
I was hoping you meant just in general or the actual Sparty that's out there. So.
It's a two-part question. Well, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We're going to spend a little bit of time doing the proverbial pictures with the jerseys and hats and football, and certainly have opportunities to take photos with Coach if you want to. There's plenty of refreshments out there, plenty of opportunities to meet and greet and to talk to Coach and his family. So thank you all for joining us. Our first game will be September 6th, which is a Friday night at 6 p.m. against Aurora University, which has been in the playoffs the last couple of years. And as a Whitewater alum and former coach, they broke my heart a couple years ago, and so if we can exact a little bit of revenge, I wouldn't be sad about it. So we look forward to you all joining us and continue to support us as you have today. Thank you. Be safe. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys want to do? Why don't you do one with the 21?
Doing good, how about you?
Thank you. Rancha, can you grab some photos maybe over by?